Good morning. Yes, it is still morning. So glad to see so many of you here. Thank you, parents, for coming, and grandparents, and friends, and members of the Sunset Lane family. My name is Jennifer Hart, and I've been coming here to Sunset Lane this is my 10th week. Well, I've been coming here for many years, but this year, this is my 10th week. And this program is the brainchild of an organization called Friends of Jazz. And Friends of Jazz was started in 1998. Some people thought that there wasn't enough music in the schools, and especially they didn't think that students were getting to learn about jazz. So they decided to start an organization to further jazz in the schools. They started out giving scholarships at the college level, both Fullerton College and Cal State Fullerton. And then they started a high school big band program. Every Saturday from about January until May, there's a high school big band from someplace in Orange County playing at, what's the name of that place? Ferentino's in downtown Fullerton. So if your children are interested in playing an instrument, that's a great place for them to go and listen and see what kind of instruments might be available to them to play. And then they started this recorder program to fund all those, to fuel all those other programs, because if you don't start them young, you can't give them scholarships in college, right? So this recorder program is open to all 4th grade classes in the city of Fullerton. And we're very happy that Sunset Lane invites us to come in every year. We're so glad. We do it in the 4th grade because in the 5th grade, the students have a chance to join the band in school. So this is a recorder. It's a very simple instrument to learn how to play. So when they have learned how to play this, that's a little bit of an idea what it takes to play a real instrument. This is a real instrument, but you know what I mean. To play a saxophone or a clarinet, a flute, trombone, trumpet, to see if they want to be in the band. And maybe they say, I don't like this at all. And that's a good thing to know too, because they don't waste anybody's time that way. So we have been working then for 9 weeks to learn some music, to learn how to play this. And the students have been working very hard. So let's get on with telling you about what we have learned. Oh, I need to introduce, we have Mrs. Cindy Leon, who is our board member from Friends of Jazz. Thank you, Cindy. If any of you are interested in joining Friends of Jazz, we do have a great time. We just give parties, and that's how we raise money to keep these programs going. So it's a great organization with a wonderful cause, and we have a lot of fun. Okay, are you ready, kids? Okay, all right. So, what we learned, Cindy, by the way, will have some brochures like this. If you're interested, they will tell you all about Friends of Jazz. What we learned that notes have 2 names. And their first name is a letter name. And the music alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So, we learned those notes. Okay, let's start on a low D. Quietly, please. F, E, F, G, A, B, C, a soft high D, back to C, B, A, G, F, E, low D. Okay. Then we learned that the other name, oh, you can, yes, please accept. As a performer, I know how much that fuels your energy when you're on stage to get some applause. So, yes, please do applaud. The second name of the notes tells us how long to hold it. Is it going to be short? Is it going to be long? That's what makes up the rhythm of the song. So, we learned about whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes. We learned about eighth note triplets. We learned about 16th notes. And we have some words to help us remember. So once we get to the eighth notes, we're going to play some doubles. And then when we get to the triplets, we're going to play some watermelons. Yes, it's very exciting. And then when we get to the 16th notes, we play watermelon. So here we go. Are you ready, kids? On B. Starting with whole note. Up, stop. Let me count you in. 1, 2, ready, play. Whole, half, note. So we learned to play a song the very first day that I came here. And we learned to play a wonderful children's song called Hot Cross Buns. Remember, this one's the slow one? And then we learned another wonderful children's song called Mary Had a Little Lamb. 1, 2, 3, And then we put those two together and we learned something called Hot Cross Merrily Mambo. Same page, same page. Turn your page to Santa Cross Buns, page 15. So you can play Hot Cross Buns without looking. So we learned a little bit about the keys that, please keep your voices off. Thank you. We learned a little bit about the keys that music is written in. If a song sounds happy, then it's usually written in a major key. But if it sounds sad, it's usually written in a minor key. So when we play Hot Cross Buns starting on B, here's what it sounds like. Okay, Hot Cross Bun. 1, 2, ready, play. But if we play hot cross buns and start on F, it sounds quite different.
Okay, now we're going to play sad cross buns.
By the way, we call this song Sad Cross Buns.
Here we go. 1, 2, much slower.
We have a couple of French songs that we're going to play for you today.
Thank you.
And the first one is called A French Folk Song.
Some people are playing the harmony, some people are playing the melody. I'm going to play it 2 times. 1, 2, ready, play. And repeat. Page 20, where is that?
And now we have another song, another French song.
Excuse me.
What were we going to do in between songs? What were we not going to do between songs? Talk. Can we go back to not doing that? Can we go back to not talking between songs? Thank you. Okay, our next song is called Frère Jacques.
Okay. Page 20. Keep playing. One, two, ready, play. Now it's the class, it's your class song. Okay, you know what page that's on? Voices off.
Now, for the most part, goodness, every time I turn around, there's more people in the room. Wow. Thank you all for coming. For the most part, I like to have the classes, they learn the same songs. But I like to have them each choose one song that they play by themselves, each class. So, we are going to do that right now, and we're going to start out with Mrs. Sparrow's class playing Amazing Grace. Would you raise your hand if you're in Mrs. Sparrow's class? Okay.
We got some fans. Okay, everybody ready?
we're going to continue with Mrs. Bishop's class, and they are going to play a song called Be a Superhero.
Yay, Miss Bishop!
Now, the fun thing about this song is because it's called Be a Superhero, there are only 2 notes in it. They're playing B's and A's. But the rhythm is very tricky, so they've had to work hard on this song, too.
Okay, are you ready?
Where's Mrs. Bishop's class? Raise your hands. Okay.
Ready?
Okay, we're going to have now Mrs. Song's class play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Where's Mrs. Song's class? Please raise your hand. Okay, are you ready?
It's page 35.
Well, some of these kids are really, really dedicated to their music and to playing their recorder. Can you stand up? Look at this kid. Raise your hand. Thank you. Okay, usually these final concerts are held a little bit later in the year, but I am leaving on vacation on Saturday, so I had to get all of the 10 classes in before I went on vacation. So, the next song is just a little bit early in the season, but you see it in the stores already, so I think it's right in line. And Mrs. Johnson's class is going to play Jingle Bells. So, we ask that you listen to them play the first time through, and then the second time through, everybody can sing along. But please be mindful of the background track and don't sing it too fast because they can't play it very fast.
Please don't cry.
You're fine, Anna.
Okay, are you ready?
And where's Mrs. Johnson's class? Raise your hand. Okay.
Now everybody sing along. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Thank you.
Okay, I would like our improvising soloist to come down here. Okay.
So since the organization that started this program is called Friends of Jazz, we like to teach a little bit about jazz. Can we turn the voices off, please? So we have prepared a song written by a wonderful jazz master, Mr. Duke Ellington, and this song is called Sea Jam Blues. Now, one of the things we learned that makes jazz different than other kinds of music is that the main beats are on 2 and 4 instead of like a marching beat, which would be 1 and 3. And and rock and roll and things like that, the main beats are 1 and 3, but in jazz, it's 2 and 4. We also learned that in jazz, a big part of jazz is improvising. Now, when you improvise, you kind of make it up as you go along. So, we have learned to improvise, very basic improvisation, and these students who are standing behind me are going to give you some short improvised solos on Sea Jam Blues.
First time through, what are we going to do? Okay. Hold your recorder in your left hand, snap with your right hand. That's first time through. Second time through, we play what's in the book. Are you listening? Okay, second time through, we play what's in the book. Third time through, these people solo. When they're finished, we'll go back and play what's in the book. Okay, you guys ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so. Move very good. Okay, you're gonna start, okay? And then you're gonna go after. So, stand between us. All right, okay. We all ready? Yeah, he's gonna go, and he's gonna go over here, and then you're gonna follow him, okay? And then you're gonna follow him. Okay. All right, let's see.
Two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play.
Well, I think they did a great job for just beginning to improvise. Okay, I want to really thank all of you parents, all class, students. We're not finished with our concert yet. I'm talking to you.
No, I'm talking to you. Yes, you. No, you are looking around. I'm talking to you. You keep talking.
I want to thank all of you parents for all of your support for your children. I know some of them purchased books and recorders so they could play at home and practice at home between the classes. and it's not always a pretty sound. But thank you for your encouragement of them, and thank you very much for your support of them.
Wow, I bet you'd like to play one for her, wouldn't you?
And after this concert today, the students get to take their books and recorders home. So now all of you will get to hear that wonderful sound. And I urge you to encourage them to keep playing. Maybe you have some people coming over to the house and they could do some of these little songs that they have learned. Maybe for Thanksgiving they can give a little concert for your relatives or something. But please encourage them to play. And if they, how many of you plan to be in band next year? All right, wonderful. Okay, so take them down to a music store. There's Moe's Music in downtown Fullerton, and then there's Jim's Music in Tustin. Those are the two stores that I recommend. Just go in and take a look at instruments, and maybe they'll let you play some. And I want to thank the teachers. Thank you very much. I know every year you have a lot of stuff you have to get in. Thank you for the time that you give me to come in and share my joy of music with the kids and teach them to play these instruments. And I want to thank the principal of this school. Thank you very much. Do you have any words you want to say?
Thank you all for being here. Great job, fourth graders and some third graders. You did a fabulous job. And thank you to Foundation for allowing us to have this opportunity.
Thank you. And I want to thank Friends of Jazz for putting the whole thing together. And what happened to Cindy? Oh, Cindy's back there. Cindy's got some brochures in case you want to find out more about this organization, Friends of Jazz. And I want to thank the fourth grade recorder students. Thank you very much. You worked very hard. Now you get to take your books and your recorders home, and I hope that you will continue playing them. So we have one song left.
Page 18. Page 18. Start with one song.
Page 18, going to end this concert with a song called Come On Everybody. I know you all like to have photo ops, so if you'll let me get this